Dude, watching someone else play Sion always makes me cringe, man. I don't know. I have a hard time watching other people play Sion.
Attention gamers. I've never really understood the internet meta where reaction vids are so much popular than oftentimes the original video even if the reacting person is sitting in silence just quietly enjoying it. I'm more in the boat of shut up Sharon, I'm trying to hear the show, but I guess people like discovering new things alongside their favorite streamer or creator, as maybe it feels like they are on the same couch sharing popcorn getting handsy, maybe adding chill to this Netflix date kind of vibe. And like any other content, people oftentimes want to see others' reactions to my content rather than the original content itself, as we had celeb sightings from LS.
Okay, that was good. That was good. That was good. To keep the carry. Nice. Okay, that one was good.
Ninja.
Are you watching Rob?
Yeah,
Rob.
yes, I'm watching his video.
That guy has the funniest league videos of all time.
Bro, dude, straight up, these are the greatest fucking analogies I've ever heard.
And Kara's my.
That was actually one of the funniest league videos I've seen in a while.
But I'm not here to act like I'm a deity of shoving laughing gas down people's windpipes as they all beg me to make love to their girlfriends. Sorry Matthew if you're watching this, which is exactly why when I made a video on Inting Sion, saw that my comment section had been taken hostage and my Twitter notifications had something juicy waiting for me, I knew there would be another highly requested reaction coming on this channel. But unlike the crowds in the past that I believe I have knocked dead with my endless stream of attempts at making them laugh, this one felt a bit different. So please enjoy TheBausffs reacts to Rav reacting to TheBausffs solo bolo strategy, that Rav then reacts to.
Rav, this guy makes pretty good videos. Inting Sion, the weirdest solo queue strat ever, featuring TheBausffs. I saw
Oftentimes,
this, but I'd never watched it because I wanted to watch it on stream, but it's 14 minutes, or whatever.
when playing League of Legends you will see a familiar concept being thrown around, worth. And while this idea is typically fairly straightforward in the real world, for example when I tell people that I'm lactose intolerant and that I spent all night bleeding out of my anus but that it's worth because I just can't say no to a threesome with my boys Ben and Jerry, the meaning of it being worth is clear. But in League of Legends the line between worth and not worth is gray, more subjective as
Giving Kev Altwing for $3.
it's typically used as a self-defense mechanism to justify some brainless decision you just made while typing it out onto a black and white screen. That is until one noble man came along and devoted his life to this ambiguous concept, becoming the most knowledgeable judge on the rift as to if
That's
something
me.
is indeed worth, leading him down a life of having possibly the worst KDA of any player ever to hit Challenger with a gameplay strategy that saddens many.
This guy's addicted to dying. Well, I mean, that's my VOD for today, man. I'm really tilted. This gameplay sucks, but it works.
Yes, I am talking about
You
the
mid
boss,
beast.
or I guess formerly TheBausffs, which I can
Well,
only
suck my
assume
dick.
is the first thing his teammates want to do when they see this dude averaging 13 deaths a game rolling top on their team. But many have misunderstood his utilization of intentionally dying and have failed to replicate it because unlike them, the boss lives his life in a way that gives his deaths meaning.
Big 160! That's a good death. That's a good death.
So today I figured since I am typically a little kamikaze kumquat death machine, I may just be genetically gifted straight out of the womb, you know, queefed out of Mama Rav's coochie purse onto this rift to carry out possibly the weirdest strategy that has ever consistently worked in League of Legends, and I plan to do it in style using his full lethality build so that I could do things like this.
Okay.
Today's sponsor is Mekarina. Get jebaited and then try the best mobile
Shut
FPS
the
on the
fuck
market. That
up.
means fantastic. Hi, current time Rav here to say that he wasn't a fan of getting job baited, but he then executed the very difficult strategy of simply fast forwarding instead of taking 8 minutes to write a hate comment about how they are unsubbing, but hey, to each his own. Alright, so first attempt I'm up against the bathtub toastered polar bear and I made the mistake that I'm guessing most people do, which is to just blatantly try to die and then defend everything as worth, so I figure baiting this furry Halo 2 needler in so that he is capital F dicked for the gank and then after life Sion Jake pawing his ass would be enough to make it worth. But then shit got dark and the solo bolos became very one-sided as it turned into a big Papa Smurf grape stained volibear shift shanks Rav Science shithole on repeat. while my dumbass is
I
over
can
here
barely
happy
hear
as a
anything he
clam.
says, by the way. I
Going,
like
look
catch
mom, I'm doing
one
it,
or two
falling into the
words.
trap that so many people come to TheBausffs stream asking why they are getting reported while I'm here nicknaming their top and jungler Ben and Jerry because they were comparably both inside of me and wrecking my ass pipes when the whole thing could have been avoided. The enemy Chester the Jester even asked if I was attempting this nonsense, to which my level of confidence wasn't exactly convincing, all while Winnie the Purple Pooh is down there showing everyone how much money I gave him. So my ADC is like, bruh, how did this happen? And I'm over here real quiet thinking that we are quote unquote chilling in this bitch. But then a small
Chilling.
inkling of hope, a glimmer on the optimism asshole of sweat, showed the potential of this stupid ass strategy as I got the game's first tower and then made Daddy Babeyes proud with agreed for the bounty, claim my dead balls all the way to the bank combo.
That's a good def. That's a good def. Worth.
Then as long as 3 of my butt buddies were in the area to play Smear the Bear, I was fin to hit him with that fat solo bolo shut down.
Rav, that's not what that means.
Levitating Lucifer may seem unkillable, but he's never met Afterlife Orc from Mordor KSI, as we all ignore that my 4 orgasm options remained unclaimed and focus on how things were looking up. While the boss man himself would have probably been split pushing instead of partaking in these useless forest fuck fests, I was over here making midget wizards jump and then bitch bowling myself straight into their dead bodies. Welch's Volibear was no longer of my concern, and that little fart dart juggling sewer rat was like ratchet pussy, and I was like INT Juicy J, just couldn't say no to it. And while the first game had small windows of hilarity, like when I first round of Nirvana knocked this little shitter out in 2 punches, I think there were certain shortcomings in terms of the execution, as I told my team I've seen it work in the movies and to look up the boss, and they were like, you forgot the last part of his name, but we'll do it #FF. So guess what? On to round 2, and I think my learning curve will be impressive, so if your lady is around I would recommend you not let her watch the following Ween of a Woman wedding performance. You see, I was against Curious George himself, and the plan was to craft elaborate assumptions for why he carries around a big pole, saying it was to compensate for how small his own one was, to provoke him into a drunk bar fight, knowing that he didn't take TP, and I could celebrate in my post-death MMA fighter form by shoving his entire wave in.
That's a good def. That's a good def.
Thanks, I know, but check this out. You see, a
This is
minute
good
later I
gameplay.
advertised cigar contraband in my lane, knowing exactly what it would do, and then I picked a seemingly dumb fight with Harambe on top of 30 Gryffindor babies, knowing my jungler with his pellet gun was about to go straight Cincinnati Zoo on his ass. So yeah, solo bolo has nothing on masturbating, you feel me, Babeyes? And unlike Sion, the only thing Wukongs can do
Why does it keep
post-death is
pronouncing my
take to
name
the
like that?
tabloids and bitch about it. Hey, butting in once more, current time Rav here again to say, first, my pronunciations are oftentimes drunk and out of control, so my apologies babangus. For context, I can't even have it say my name correctly either without spelling it weirdly. Hard stuck loser. Second, when you said this is over
I can
here
barely
happy
hear
as a
anything he
clam.
says, by the way. I
Going,
like
look
catch
mom, I'm doing
one
it,
or two
falling into the
words.
trap that I now understand it's my American accent, and jokes aren't funny if you can't understand the accent, duh. So according to Google you are Swedish, and I tried to hire a translator but no luck, so what if I middle ground settled for something in EU?
But I was really starting to get the hang of the fact that my lane opponent was a certified dumb shit, so you can probably guess what came next, my very first solo bolo. And not to foreshadow the bloody diarrhea ass wagon stereotypical mental booming teammates, but my jinx was indeed calling for an open, not 8 minutes into the game, but like a wise Lil Wayne once said, dick in their mouth, fuck what they say. So I went over to proxy like I've seen Bobby Wobby do hundreds of times, only for my variation of the story to involve a Ramus going straight to my ass like he's Haagen-Dazs ice cream, prompting a montage flash and quite the chase.
Low bolo.
Then it was time to bush beam my way down bot, cause this ash hole was looking a bit too clean, and I wanted to introduce myself as a second time Sion and show her all the stuff I learned. Side note, Mafia Man left me hanging. Why, you might ask? The world will
Dude, watching someone else play Sion always makes me cringe, man. I don't know. I have a hard time watching other people play Sion.
Don't feel bad, Rabbi Babeyes. People have a hard time watching me play any champ. Truly never know, but I guess he figured he would come back in a bit to steal all the credit anyways, like a chungus big bungus ass clown. And since I was vacationing south anyways, I stuck around for a bit because I heard that the enemy Ramus would be attempting to break the Guinness World Record for worst attempt at a dragon steal ever. So I head back top to do the bait and switch routine again, you know, tell this Wukong to slob on my knob like corn on the cob, but turns out I'm still god awful at this champ, so I die like an egg around Easter before giving him the 3-4 McGregor and insecurely calling whatever you want to call that last play as worth. Also, side note, when you are playing this single shoulder padded sepsis solo Renekton only bald fuck of a champ, you can just bull yourself into the rift pine trees to steal kills. Then given my track record of ineptitude, absolutely no one will believe me when I was full cosplay mode of the boss in this next play, knowing drag would be up in a little over a minute, so if I could pull as many kumquats top it would be big boy IQ status, as I ran away grumpily giggling knowing my plan worked. And we would be able to set up for drag before them, which in this case meant double solo bolo bitches and a big dragon soul for the good guys, and at this point absolutely nothing was going to stop me from shilling hard, especially not that spike-butting cat turd trying to barrel himself into me, so I showed him what a true collision should feel like, and then I hit the world with another deliberate death they weren't ready for, knowing it would give my team a free Baron. Hashtag dying is dope. But remember 7 minutes into the game when this failed abortion was trying to give up. Turns out by the end of the game the diff involving her was so big, 5 levels to be exact, which I don't even know how that's possible, but it felt illegal, like Chris Hansen was about to show up or some shit. So yeah, attempt 2 got spoiled by her stupidity, forcing me to queue a third, and show off the true potential of Inting Sion. Hee XD toxic, I know, but I also then want to point out that I welcomed a level 1 all-in, considering it was a home game for me in the middle of my wave, but I forgot Riot devs in the set department must give some of the best knob gobble in the galaxy, so all logic is out the window for this game, meaning you shouldn't be surprised when the level 6 1v3 that I torpedoed myself straight through a falcon punch into ended in the male stripper making like a baby and heading out full of life as we took the consolation prize of murdering this baby.
Dude, I kid you, I cannot catch a word. I cannot catch a word. I'm sorry. I don't know what it is with me.
Damn language barrier again, but his cue also popped at that time, so he saved the rest of the video to watch after his stream alone so he could laugh his ass off crying until he could barely breathe, obviously, but it is worth noting he did come back once more.
You missed the part where he said your stream is his favorite. Now you're for real.
And I do have to admit that in making this video his stream has become one of the most entertaining for me personally to watch, and so with that, Inting Rav out.
Yo, go check out Rav, guys. Rav on YouTube.
Thanks buddy Bab Salabagus, appreciate the shout out, can't wait to do it again sometime. I have some dank jokes ready for it. Rav out.
You're looking silly cause you're in your feelings, but really old Ravi's up next. I see you hunting for scraps and you're looking at me like I'm finna be next.